Change you are born with the instinct, aspiration, desire, ambition to be YouTuber, radio host, audiovisual producer, multimedia producer, etc. And you already have your first project. You do the script, you organize the set or you record in a studio, you get a good camera and you are determined to record. You press your finger epically towards the button. But wait. Oh. There is an important and fundamental element for your production and it is the sound. At this moment you think, what method can help me, in what position and what type of microphone do I need to capture the sound and with great quality? Now when I tell you that there are various techniques to convert your sound even in a camera, since with different techniques you can transport yourself and even make a total immersion to a space. Just listening, without needing to visualize anything, you can experience sensations as if certain elements, people or animals are around you. And how is this achieved? Thanks to a stereo recording technique, which refers to the use of microphones to capture a wide image of sound with two or more channels, distributing the high and low tones to cause a sensation of acoustic relief. Do you understand? Me neither. In other words, they are techniques that allow us to record and reproduce sound with the sensation of being immersed in it and obtaining a better sound quality. Is it clear to you now? Well, neither am I. To better express the definition, let's look at the sound in the mono system. And now with the stereo. With this in mind, a man named Mr. Alan Blumlein for the year 1931 went to see a movie accompanied by his wife. The man was upset because he was listening to the only central speaker in the room. The voice didn't correspond to the position of the actors on the screen, so he started looking for a way to solve this. Some time later, the binaural recording system was patented, because thanks to this, we perceive two slightly different sounds in one more accelerated and strongly pleasant. This generates the effect of deep and environment of a sound. To generate this, Mr. Blumlein used a new microphone technique, the Blumlein trigger technique, which involves the use of two microphones with a polar pattern in the shape of 8, which, therefore, provide greater sensitivity by front and back of it, and both are arranged in capsules that coincide with an angle of 90 degrees respectively. As we can see, both microphones are very close to each other, and both are rotated 90 degrees respectively. The effect produced by stereo recording with this technique will be a 360 degree sound image that simultaneously captures the side, such as the front and rear, to give us the binaural feeling that we are immersed in that space. Let's see an example of what I am talking about. To do this, close your eyes and just imagine through the sound.
Partenza, 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 centro, 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 sinistra, 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 vado verso destra, 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 destra.
This is a shot obtained with two AKG 414 VULS. What do you feel? Did you imagine that this was happening around you? As if it were an immersion into another world? Well, basically this was what Blumlein was looking for this stereoscopic technique. Aside from the voice, you can see how the sound moves throughout the speakers, and not just longitudinally, even in depth. Be that as it may, the Blumlein technique, along with other similar microphone techniques, explores the phenomenon of ambient reflections to recreate to the human mind in a binaural audio system the sensation of a spatiality of sound in nature. It sounds very beautiful and even fantastic, but there is a great disadvantage with this technique, and that is that once the environment is fixed during the recording phase, it will be possible to modify it later if necessary. This same thing led this great Mr. Blumlein to create a technique that will revolutionize the world sound and is called mid-side. Mid refers to the world middle and side to the world side, which means middle and side. This idea comes from same binaural technique as Alan Blumlein and was patented in 1934. Mid-side was originally used effectively as a recording technique to improve speed before there was stereo reproduction, but it wasn't widely used until stage radio engineer Dennis Holger Lauritsen did her experiments with stereo. The technique has long been used in broadcasting because the resulting recording is mono-compatible, making it a great method for studio, concert, and location recording. It is a particular microphone recording technique, or rather, the process of mid-side decoding of a stereo track in mastering is the reverse application of the microphone technique. Okay. Let's look at how the theory works first of all. Mid-side is a technique where two microphones are used, but are placed as close to each other as possible, and the stereo image is created by difference in volume rather than time delays. The first microphone is directed at the source, which is generally unidirectional and has a cardioid pattern. That is, it has much more sensitivity in its front part. We can use a small membrane condenser Rode NT5, and the other microphone is bidirectional. That is, it has a A-shaped pattern, like Blumlein's, and it is used to pick up the sound from the sides. That is, 90 degrees with respect to the cardioid microphone. An AKG P420, a large membrane where you can choose the A-shaped pattern, is perfect for this technique. To create a stereo image, signals must be decoded using a dedicated decoding plugin or mixer. Listening to the signal from the middle microphone will provide a mono image. By adding the side channel, the stereo image changes. The higher the side channel, the wider the audio is perceived. This is due to the phase correlation between the two microphones. This technique is very effective when capturing drum sounds in a room. The mid-side system offers excellent control over the stereo image in post-production. It allows you the control of the amount of direct sound from the mid mic and ambient sound from the side mic, offering exceptional control over the width of the stereo sound field. With other stereo recording techniques, you have to settle for what has already been recorded, but with the mid-side system, it is possible to adjust the ambient space to provide a variable stereo image. In addition to be fully compatible in mono, therefore it is the ideal technique for stereo recording that can be broadcast to TV or radio in mono. How do we create a mid-side effect from a DAW in post-production? Let's go to Pro Tools. I quote from the YouTube channel Directo al Punto, since through its video I was able to explain this process. Well, first of all, we must have imported both recordings, one of the cardioid and the other of the 8 pattern. Then, we duplicate the channel that has the pattern of 8. We adjust the panorama of both channels. That is, we adjust one to the left and the other to the right. The cardioid channel must be centered in this panorama. Later, we must invert the phase of the channel of the pattern of 8, that is, to the left in this panorama. Now, we can mix the signals of the channels, making sure that the side channels always have the same level. This is achieved either by grouping both channels or mixing them in a single stereo track, taking into account that the greater or lesser signal of the side channels. You will be able to expand or close the stereo image. Let's listen to some of variations here. Here are some tips. Be careful with incorrect compression. Use a correct equalizer. Don't overdo it by increasing the side channel. And don't overpan the mid-side channels. Finally, it is important to have the proper microphone placement in any recording because you cannot fix a bad placement in the post. Common places for the mid-side technique are in the studio for drums, piano, acoustic guitar, or small vocal group or string sections. Mid-side is also ideal for live audio broadcast, environmental or nature recordings, concerts, shows, or any type of location recording. So, what are you waiting for? Go record your first video and enjoy fulfilling your dream by recording the sound with the mid-side compatible mono stereo technique.